So with the Mega Tins recently released and the Ignister cards a lot more accessible, we've had the deck for a while at Sanctum Squad and we thought we'd show you our list. Of course, if you want to pick up these cards, any cards, go to tcgaccess.co.uk, links in the description, little discount, great store, helps us out. Let's get into the deck profile. So we're just going to take you through the Ignisters to start with, and I'll briefly go over their effects because they're still relatively new. We're in 3 Chi-Chi. This is your Stratos on normal or special summon, search your level 4 or lower Ignister, and this other effect is ass, so don't worry about it. We're in 3 Pickery. This is my favourite one, searches the spells or traps on the normal or special summon. It's a level 4, so you can use it with Bururu to make Winded Pegasus, and if you don't want to do that, you can use its other effect to turn the other Ignister to a level 4, and then you can go into your rank 4 plays, which comes up sometimes with Light Dragon if you're trying to pop a board under droplets or something. Doesn't come up often, but comes up sometimes. We're on 2 Doyan. Doyan I really like. Basically when you normal or special summon it, you add one back from the graveyard to your hand, an Ignister monster, and when it's used as a link summon for a Cyberse, you can add an AI spell. So he's really good. I do kind of want to run more some days, but then he's kind of bricky, but yeah, he's good. I do like him. We run 1 Bururu. This is the Armageddon Knight for Ignisters, and when it's sent to the graveyard as a synchro summon, for an Ignister or a Cyberse, no I think it's just Ignister actually, you can revive the other material you used, and this is how you get your Wind Pegasus into the grave to protect your arrival when you make your Link 3. But yeah, other than that he's really good, and he sends the Don Mari. It's got like a Kunkery effect from hand when you negate an attack. And then its main effect is when you have a Link 6 on the board, it's a card negate from the grave as a quick effect like Hot Red. So yeah, that's it for the Ignisters, just the 10, but they're pretty effective. One of the great things about this deck is the engine is actually relatively compact, so we can actually run quite a big hand trap ratio, which goes well with the new card into the deck. So we run 3 Ash Blossom, we run 3 Veiler, we run 3 Imperm, and we run 2 Nibiru. I'm not actually that keen on Nibiru as a rule, but I do run it for the new card in the deck, and no prizes for guessing what it is at this point, but it does come up sometimes, it's just not very good. On for the spells, we run 3 AI Land, and 1 Terraforming, essentially the 4th AI Land. This card's heavily searchable. You can search it with Pickery, which is really bad to do. You can search it with the Infant, which is the point of the Infant, but you do kind of want to open it. The card you'll mostly be searching with the Pickery. Actually, I should probably say what it says. It's when it's on the field, you can just summon an Ignister from your hand if you haven't summoned that attribute with its effect this turn. And its other effect is it resets itself from the grave, a bit like Plunder Patrol Shipyard, if anyone knows that, just in a different way. We also run 3 AI Meet You, or I Meet You. This is the new card the deck's got. It helps with consistency. You reveal a Cyberse monster in your extra deck with 2300 attack, and then you can search for that card with the same attribute from the deck. So this with transcode, it lets you search Earths, but you don't run any Earths, but it lets you run 5 Pegasus to search a Chi-Chi, Light Phoenix to search Pickery, and you can search Doyan with Dark Templar, but that rarely comes up. There is a minor burn effect that happens afterwards, but it doesn't actually happen that often, so. We run 1 AI Idol Reborn. This is the Reborn spell of the deck. If you open this and Pickery, this lets you make your Arrival for 6, which is like really good. The only way a deck can sort of out that is with an access code with a Link 4, but then you can just Don Mari the access code, so it's not actually that much of a problem. Another card I'd be tempted to run multiples of. It's just a bit of a brick, but it's something to mess around with. And then on about little bricky cards is AI Contact. It's not really a brick, it's just a fun card. Essentially, if AI Land is in the field spell zone and you've got one in your hand, you activate this, you tuck the one in your hand back into the deck, to the bottom of the deck, and draw 3 cards. So you can do this at the end of your combo if you open AI Land and AI Meet You, and you can search this off the Templar and then this off the Pickery, and then that just, you're still doing your full combo and you're drawing 3 cards. So you should end your turn with like the Arrival plus at least 5 cards in your hand, which is really good. Onto the rest of the spells, we run 3 Desires. Everything's a 3 of, so you can run Desires quite effectively. We run 3 Droplets, self-explanatory really, and then new to the deck is 3 Crossout Designator. Ignore the mining, it's early days, but this will be a 3rd Crossout. Amazing card, a brilliant boon for decks like this where you need your 1 effect to resolve and then you just snowball. And of course we run so many applicable cards, even the 2 cards before Desires and Droplets you can send to negate with this. Spells rarely ever get sent with Droplets. You've got your Nibirus, your Imperms, your Veilers, everything. This card really helps the deck, and decks like it, decks like DDD, Even decks like Phantom Knights get a massive boost off this card, and yeah, the impact this card will have on the meta, I think, is so obvious to see. And then to go alongside that, we just run the one Call By because we do want our cards to resolve. You could run Talents, but I think Talents is a bit sort of naff in this deck because you just want your effects to resolve rather than draw extra cards because you don't really run Extenders. So that's why Cross Out and Call By are the better options. But yeah, that is exactly 40 cards in the main deck. For the extra deck, it's all very, very linear. We run 2 Infant. This is your one that searches your field spell, the new card, and then you run the second because you make it at the end of the combo to move to get your full benefit off your Dark Templar, and we'll go through that combo very soon. Not 3, you never need 3. Once you search the 1 Hour Land or Druid, it resets itself every turn, so it doesn't matter. 1 Wicked. This, when a Cyberse is summoned to a zone it points to, you can banish a Cyberse from your grave and add a Cyberse tuner from your deck to your hands. This gets you your Baruru. It also randomly can't destroy by card, battle or card effects, which is like, okay, whatever. Splash Mage, this is the card I do want to run more of, I'm just struggling for the room. Just a reborn for Cyberses that aren't links, really, really good card. Update Jammer, we all know what this does. IP Masquerena, Dark Templar. This is your sort of your boss monster to get to your boss monster kind of thing. You can use him to reveal to search your Doyan. And when you summon to a zone he points to, you can summon Ignister monsters with different attributes from your grave. So you'll set him up, you'll have another Ignister in hand, usually a Chi-Chi, you'll link off your Chi-Chi here, you'll activate this which will revive all your guys, and then he wiggles over there, so then you get your full 3 monsters for the price of nothing really. It's a very, very good card. I've been tempted to run 2 sometimes, but on the crackback and the follow-up you tend to like just go for the access code with the Update Jammer play, which is always on with IR Land on the board. That's where the second Splash Mage is applicable, but I don't think it makes that much of a deal. It hasn't yet anyway, it might come to the second Splash Mage though. Transcode, an access code that attacks twice in this deck is hilarious. Yeah, amazing. This card's my least favourite card in the entire game. I absolutely hate it. You never make it, it's rubbish. You just need it to search for your Chi-Chi, honestly, or get lost. Run 1 Nightmare Phoenix because we run the, sorry, Nightmare Unicorn because we run the IP, we run 1 Access Code because we like to win games, we run 1 Firewall. This is something I don't see a lot of decks actually play. They all try and turbo out the Arrival, which is fine, it's like the point of the deck. But you can actually end on a board that has this co-linked to the Infant and a Masquerena, and it's like with all your hand traps, you can potentially have 5 or 6 disruptions there with 2 being bounces, and it's like, how does Tri-Brigade deal with 2 bounces? You bounce the Norseman, you bounce the Keras, what are they doing? But yeah, this card's really, really good. Your Arrival, your Big Daddy, Link 6, gains attack equal to the number of Link monsters used for its summon, minimum of 3 times 1,000. Just sits there, can't be unaffected by all card effects, really hard to out. He's actually not very good on his own, he's just unkillable, which is the strength of him, I suppose. You're in your Synchro, this is just like a Feather Duster on your main phase, and it's got a protection, well not a protection effect, but when something's killed by your opponent's card, battle or card effect, you can banish him from the grave and shuffle a card your opponent controls. Some Dogma lists played this if you remember. Yeah, this card's good, you make it in the combo. And then Light Dragon, as I said with the Pickery, it doesn't come up often. When it does you can just clear some board space, but you're probably better off using access code for that, but you mainly use it to reveal for your Pickery. So yeah, we're just going to take you through a quick combo, the bread and butter combo of the deck. So let's get into it. So this is just the bread and butter combo. There's multiple delineations to this. You can open a Chi-Chi, you can open Pickery, you can open AI Meet You, and you can even do it off like Doyan and another Ignister. But we'll just do it with the most simple version, which is with the Chi-Chi. So we'll normal summon a Chi-Chi, activate his effect and search Picari. We can then link a Chi-Chi off for our Dark Infant. There he is. Infant, when he resolves, he's going to let us search the AI land, which we will activate straight away. And now, since we control nothing in our main monster zone, we can go ahead and special summon Picari, or Pickery rather, Picari or Pickery or whatever wants to let us search the AI Meet You, which we can then use. We can reveal our Dark Templar. This lets us get to our Doyan. Now, if we don't special summon the Doyan, we are going to take some superficial burn damage, so that's something to remember. We'll link off the Pickery and the Templar, not the Templar, the Infant, there we go, I can't remember the name. And we'll bring out Wicked. Then, since we've got no monsters in the main monster zone again, we can summon Doyan. Now, you've got some chain links to do here. Cyberse Wicked banishes for cost. Always banish this, because it's doing nothing in the grave, so bye bye Infant. Doyan lets us add back a Chi-Chi, and this is going to let us search Bururu. So obviously your chain link preference depends on your hand. Usually as a rule I chain link 1, the Wicked, because that's the one you want to resolve most, and then the Doyan's like superficial because you can add stuff back, or you can have Reborn and that. So we add back the Chi-Chi, and we also add the Bururu. These names are horrible, I don't know if you can tell. We link all these off into our favourite card in the deck, Splash Mage, our favourite non-Ignister card, and then we can, since we've got no monster in the main monster again, summon Bururu, use the Armageddon Knight effect to send you Donmari, which is your protection for your arrival, and then we can Splash Mage back anything really at this point. Doyan or Picari's fine, but we'll Splash Mage back the Doyan, sync these off, since Bururu is indeed a tuner for the Wind Pegasus at Ignister, and we can use Bururu's effect to get the Doyan. And then we're going to turn these into your boy, your main man, Dark Templar at Ignister. Now from here, we control no monsters in the main monster zone, and we normal summon the Chi-Chi, not special summoned it, so we can special summon him there, no effect, link him straight off into the Dark Templar. Now, when a Cyberse monster is summoned to a zone Templar points to, you can revive as many as you want up to the zones he points to. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong way around, that should be there. But then when Templar is on the field, when a Cyberse monster effect is activated, you can wiggle him to his zone. So Templar wiggles over there, and then we've got 3 free zones for the Dark Templar. You have to change this attribute as well, or you can change it, and it comes up when you've got Reborn to make the arrival for 6. Usually I just change it to Divine Beast if I'm doing that, because you don't run any Divine Beasts, but you have to be careful what you revive. We'll revive Bururu, we'll revive a Chi-Chi, we'll revive Bururu, and we'll revive Picari. It's usually these 3 because you can't actually make your arrival with 2 darks, which is why it's important to change this. Now this is the bread and butter combo. From here you have 2 ways to go. If you have Reborn, you can go Reborn back, whatever, and make your arrival, or you can just alternatively make your arrival for 4 here, sorry, which is equally fine. 4K is still pretty big, and access code doesn't deal with it with Donmari. So there is that. It's the uninspired boring play. What I like to do a lot of the time is I'll turn a Chi-Chi and Templar into Firewall Dragon here, into the far zone, and then I'll turn Bururu and I'll turn Picari into Masquerena. I think this is such a more flexible and dynamic and better board. You've got a bounce with Firewall, you've got a bounce with Masquerena, you've got a free summon with Firewall if your Infant leaves, and then you've got all your hand traps as well. So like I say, it does depend on your hand, but I think especially in the upcoming meta, I think keeping monsters off the board is going to be the priority, especially with pranks and PKs coming up. So yeah, there's the combos. So that's the profile little combo thing. As ever, pick up any of these cards, tcgaccess.co.uk, link is in the description for a little discount that'll hook you right up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, drop a comment for any suggestions you might have, and yeah, thank you for watching.